Town Council meeting to order, and we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call, Ms. Lebrou.
Ms. Billings-Smith is absent. Ms. Blanks?
Present.
Ms. Cantor?
Here.
Mr. Cortez, sorry.
Here.
Mr. Davidoff?
Here.
Ms. Fay is absent. Mr. Sweeney? Here. Mr. Winograd is absent, and Mr. Zdanowicz.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Lebrou. And we will go to public forum, see if there's anybody signed up. No one has signed up, and seeing that there's not, is there anybody here that would like to speak to anything on the agenda? Seeing none, we will go to number 4, Mr. Sweeney.
Madam Mayor, without objection, I move that we place items 5A, 5B, 5C, 7A, 10A, 10B, 10C, 10D, 10E, 10F, 10G on the consent calendar.
Thank you, Mr. Sweeney. Is there any objection? Hearing no objection, the items are placed on the consent calendar. Mr. Sweeney?
Madam Mayor, I move adoption of the consent calendar.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. The consent calendar is adopted. And now we go to number B.
Madam Mayor, I move adoption of the resolution approving the assignment of the real estate tax liens.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Mr. Ledwith, would you like to?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This resolution is for a tax lien sale for 18B Deer Run Drive. Connecticut General Statute 12-195H allows municipalities to assign liens filed by the tax collector to secure unpaid taxes on real property. We've not collected taxes on this particular strip of land for more than 15 years. The adoption of this resolution will result in $100 of back taxes paid. The buyer of the lien intends to purchase the property and combine it with existing land that is contiguous with this parcel, which then puts this land back on the grand list as a collectible parcel moving forward. The parcel of land is assessed at $3,290 on the 2021 grand list, and the outstanding lien is approximately $7,720. This resolution was reviewed by the Finance and Administration Committee, and Deputy Corporation Counsel Verano and myself are available to answer any questions that the council has. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ledwith. Are there any questions on this item? Again, this was discussed in committee, and we can go to a voice vote if there's no questions. All right. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Now to C, Mr. Sweeney.
Madam Mayor, I move adoption of the resolution appropriating American Rescue Plan Act grant funds.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's been made and seconded. Mr. Ledwith, could you do a summary on
Madam
this?
Mayor, we're very excited to present the council with our $2 million Small Business and Nonprofit Recovery Grant Program, which has been established to provide one-time direct financial assistance to eligible Town of West Hartford small businesses and nonprofits. Both small businesses and nonprofits would have to employ 50. Sorry about that. I should start over.
Please do. Feel free.
So again, we're very excited to present the council with our $2 million Small Business and Nonprofit Recovery Grant Program, which has been established to provide one-time direct financial assistance to eligible Town of West Hartford small businesses and nonprofit organizations that employ 50 full-time employees or less and have been adversely impacted by the COVID pandemic. Small business is defined as employing not more than 50 full-time employees and has operations, of course, in the Town of West Hartford. A nonprofit organization is defined as an entity with a Town of West Hartford address, organized and operated for a collective public or social benefit. Small businesses and nonprofit organizations must currently be in and have been in operation since January 1st of 2020. Small businesses must be in good standing with the Connecticut Department of Revenue Service along with being current on its federal, state, and local tax obligations, and have no outstanding liens or judgments. The Small Business Nonprofit Recovery Grant Program is to assist small businesses and nonprofits in responding to the public health emergency and/or its negative economic impacts. Applications can be submitted for grants up to $10,000. This grant program operates on a reimbursement basis for two types of eligible projects. We have the COVID-19 Relief Assistance Grant, which examples would include mitigating financial hardship, which would include decreased revenue, increased costs, payroll and benefits, pay for mortgages, rents, utilities, and other operating costs. Would also be used to include prevention and mitigation tactics, physical plant changes to enable social distancing, barriers and/or partitions, enhanced cleaning efforts, would support recovery programs, would support costs associated with outdoor dining areas, would assist with costs associated with compliance of public health measures related to COVID-19. We also have our Enhanced Program Assistance Grant, and a new or Enhanced Program Assistance Grant must meet the criteria of directly responding to the negative impact of COVID-19. Businesses and organizations interested in implementing a new program or enhancing an existing program that would benefit the community should apply. Examples would be, but not limited to, supporting recovery programs for mental health services, crisis intervention, substance abuse treatment, or housing. Thanks to the hard work of our committee, which includes Peter Privatera, Lisa Newton, Patty Lewis, Helen Rubino-Turco, and Kristen Gorski, along with the help of our IT department, we're going to be ready to roll this program out in July. Our public relations specialist is currently working on a press release, which will be sent out directly to all of our small businesses and nonprofit community. In addition to the website that we've designed, we will hold 2 virtual information sessions for small business and nonprofits to attend and learn more about the program and ask questions. We've also dedicated an email set up for folks to email questions in as well. The virtual information sessions will be held on July 6th and July 12th, and then the application will formally launch on July 20th with an initial deadline of August 10th. The application process is digital, so applicants can submit directly online, and depending on the response, we can leave that deadline open and accept applications on a rolling basis as well. We will review the applications internally through the month of August with a notification of awards in early September. And that is a summary of the program. I can pause there and we can turn it over to the council for any questions. I also have the website and the application that I can bring up online for us to review as well.
Thank you, Mr. Ledwith. Just, can you give the deadline a date again, although you said that that could be left open?
Yep, so the deadline now would be August 10th. However, if we don't have enough applications to award the complete $2 million, we can leave it open at that point. And it'd be a rolling application process after August 10th. But we keep the public aware of what's happening as we're moving through. I suspect we could have a significant turnout for these grants, so we may fill up rather quickly by August 10th, but if we don't, we'll leave it open and accept on a rolling basis after that date.
And the application does demonstrate a loss or something? It has to contain some kind of...
It does. We do ask for backup in terms of, and they sign off on an affidavit demonstrating a loss, which, as we know, most people will be able to do, as we've all experienced, especially our small businesses and nonprofits, pretty significant negative impact as a result of COVID. So.
And if a business or nonprofit submits and they either get rejected or they have granted, is there an ability for them to resubmit, one, a rejected application, or two, if they ask, why was it rejected or whatever, if there is, and
Certainly,
will there be the ability to do that?
There'd be an opportunity to
Yep.
resubmit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And will there, if they do have a positive submission, and they get $10,000 or even $5,000, could they resubmit for either another $5,000 or even another $10,000?
They could, if their need are in two different categories and then want to do $5,000 in one and $5,000 in the other, they can certainly do that.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Blanks?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Rick, for providing that information. So I just have two questions. So one is when you stated receive enough applications, can you elaborate on that? What would be considered enough? So let's say, just for the sake of argument, you got 10. You're not looking for 10,
So we are looking for significantly more than 10, and we know we'll get a lot more than 10. But say, for example, we have $2 million set aside for this program, and we receive 200 applications at $10,000 each, then we would have expended the $2 million.
Okay.
If we had 100 at 10,000 each, we know we can keep it open on a rolling basis until our commitment, the council's commitment, is to expend all $2 million and award the $2 million to small businesses and nonprofits. So we will, however long that takes, we will leave that process open until we expend the full $2 million. We have about 3,200 brick and mortar businesses in town, small businesses. I suspect there will be quite a demand for this program.
One more question, sorry. And if folks need assistance in terms of filling out the application, would they contact Christian or?
So we have an email, so we have those 2 sessions set up, and then we'll have an email set up as well that we'll be checking every single day. So Kristen Gorski and Patty Lewis will be checking the email. Anyone has any questions on the process, they will send an email, we will call them up, and we will help them with the application process.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Banks. Mr. Sweeney?
Mr. Ledwith, thank you for this. It's been a process to get here, but I think the people will appreciate the due diligence that you guys did in putting this together. When will the website go live?
Website will be live July 5th.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so
It's actually, I could show it to you right now. It's live if you'd like to see it.
Well, we can see it, I think.
Sure. You want to
It's-
drop the screen, Essie?
Thank you. And while we're getting that, I want to thank Liam, our Deputy Mayor, is the chair of the Finance Committee, and has been cycling through the Finance Committee for a while. As he said, it's taken us a while to get here, but we're really glad to be at this point.
There's a first.
All right, so the website will be set up on our Economic Development tab of our website. And here we have general information on the program available for people to, essentially everything that I just described can be found right here on the overview. We also have a separate package of guidelines. And this document's about 10 pages long, gets into some of the more granular detail of the program. We have the criteria here. And then, let's see, we have the actual application itself. And this is all done digitally, so folks will be able to submit the application directly to us right online. And it's fairly basic, but certainly we're available to help anyone with filling out the application.
through you, Madam Mayor.
Mr. Sweeney?
Mr. Ledwith, so this is up online, and then the portal doesn't open till the 6th, is that right? Or this will be
So this is
available?
it's actually all information. The actual application will be live on,
July 5th.
I think I said the 15th or July. I have the timeline right over there.
No, I didn't know that. The informational session was the 6th.
So this will all be available online on the 6th.
Okay.
Yep. But they will submit the application starting on July 20th.
July 20th.
Yeah.
Okay. And so this is just a demo for us?
This is a demo for you, but people will have access to this on July 5th.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Just wanted to
So
say.
then they'll be able, not to cut you off, but they'll be able to review the application and then ask us questions and then still have time
Excellent.
to submit beginning on July 20th.
Yeah, this is excellent, and I assume that this has been distributed to all the business associations in town. I know that you guys are, Kristen is active at all of those meetings.
She is, yeah.
And I'm just excited about this. I think this is really innovative, and I think we talked about this at the finance meeting. If there is success here, if there's an opportunity to potentially expand upon this, that's something that we are considering and talking about, and I just wanted to, I'm sure this will move quickly.
It will.
Particularly with the economy being what it is, and so many people in town really needing some extra help right now. So thank you for, this looks great, by the way. It looks super easy, and really excited to have this up.
You're welcome. Then we have our grant and acceptance award form as well, that this will go out to the awardees in September.
Thank you, Mr. Sweeney. Thank you, Mr. Ledwith. Any other? Mr. Zitanowicz?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm proud to say, for the last time, Acting Town Manager Rick Ledwith. How are you? In fact, I don't think I've ever said it before, so I just have to get that out. So that'll be the first and last, so. Mr. Sweeney alluded to it, but what's the process of the push as far as getting it out to the businesses? And I heard an email, but what's that action look like? Where's the give and take and the push-pull for that?
So there's been multiple communication touch points already. So we've been going out to all the business association meetings, and we've been talking about this program for months.
Okay.
So there is some pent-up demand there from those kinds of communications. We'll send out an email blast to the entire town, so the entire community knows what we're doing. That will capture some people, but we also have a direct mailing list to our small businesses and nonprofits. They will receive this directly.
Yeah, because I could imagine a lot of people don't participate in a lot of those meetings, right? And
Yeah.
sometimes their emails don't change or change, whatever. But, okay, so mailing, everything, all the bases are covered, because I was just, maybe that mom and pop store, not aware of it, they're too busy, so.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
We may know someone at WeHa who might be able to put that online for us as well. Sitting behind us.
No, thank you. And it's the single hairdresser or single person that is just trying to get through the day that we want to make sure that we reach, and that's struggling to make ends meet and get their business back on track. So, anyway, Mr. Davidoff.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I don't really have a question. I do have some comments. Usually we have proclamations, and it always starts off with the health and vitality of a community. And let me just say, as a small business retailer, there are many of us whose health and vitality are going to greatly be sustained by these type of grants. And my colleagues are all correct. The more people that know about these grant funds, the better we are. It's really great that we're taking this initiative. As we discussed early on with the allocation of the grant funds, whether it be small businesses or nonprofits, which play such an important role in our local economy, that they have this ability to access these funds. Because at the end of the day, and I've said this on several occasions, we're going to be judged by what steps we took with our ARPA money to promote long-term economic growth. And this is one example of how we can do that. And we're not using the funds like other communities across the country to fill in budget gaps. And I think that is just so important, that the measures that we're taking here this evening So I know that I will definitely, in my interactions with the various people that I run into, ask them if they have heard about this or need to get more information. I think just to be an ambassador, I think that's something that we really need to do over the next few weeks, because we are in the know. And it can just be something as simple as any business you go into, you say, do you know about this program? There's funds available from the town of West Hartford. And they say, yeah, I got an email, or I got something in the mail or something, or someone told me about it. Or if not, we can be the ambassador and make that connection. I think that is just so crucial. And I'm certain that our media partners will enable us to do that. This is a very positive thing that we're doing. So I thank the staff, I thank my colleagues for recognizing that we're far from out of the woods with respect to the effect that COVID-19 has had on our small businesses and nonprofits. And as one further thing, the manager did meet during Celebrate 2 nonprofits that are struggling in our performing arts sector, and they're very excited to be able to apply to meet the needs. And we all know that the arts are so important to West Hartford and the community that we are. So we're already doing a lot of the pre-work, so thank you, and this is a great opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. David. Mr. Cortez.
Through you, Madam Mayor. So I just have two questions. One is, on the website, you go through the tabs, which sometimes is overwhelming for people. Is there a way that we can, almost like a link, like once you go to the website? I see there's a news tab also, which kind of flips, so I'm assuming that it'll be there as well. So that way, they don't have to try, like I know how to find it, but I know that it'll take me some time. But someone, at, an older mom and pop shop might have a difficult time trying to locate that tab. And then the other question is with if they took out a PPP loan in the past, would that impact, would this grant have an impact on that?
No. Yeah. And to your question, so are you talking on the front, like on our front page of our website, a tab that would?
Yeah, like
Is
something
that-
almost like, I don't know,
yeah.
like alert or something,
Yeah. We could do that.
Thank you, Mr. Cortez. So just to clarify, the PPP loan, they need to have had further loss beyond what they received to be recovered for PPP. So it has to be a new
Correct.
loss.
Yeah.
It can't be filling, double dipping,
Yeah.
you might say, right? So, yeah. I just wanted to say, I know that, again, this has been in the works for a long time. Obviously, we want to make sure that we are serving businesses that have been hurt by COVID, and most businesses have, but be effective in that grant process, but not be too cumbersome, right? So it was the balance of that application process, because we, as my colleagues know, will be required to do reporting on how we've spent our money, are invested, I think, in our ARPA dollars, and in the, I would say as Mr. Davidoff said, it's the thread of our community, our small businesses and our nonprofits that hold us together. And if we can support them and help with this, the burden and some of the difficulties that they've had, I think we will be stronger as a community. So I did want to just ask the question on reporting. Businesses on the application process, is there a requirement for them to report how they are spending, investing, whatever, and that money, and how does that get done?
There is, and unfortunately, it's quite a burden on us, actually, because we will need to, our finance department will add this to their job responsibilities, but they're ready. We will be working with each individual awardee in terms of documentation of what they've spent, when they've spent it, and that has to be reported directly back to us, and we have to report it directly back to the state and the federal government. So it's quite cumbersome.
Right, and so proactively, we want to make sure that I'm wondering if it would be helpful to provide a reporting form that they can fill out to, in almost a diary or a journal of some sort where they can fill out, so it's not maybe as cumbersome, because we all know when when I was an accountant, you had to do your timesheets. You had to go, if you didn't keep up with them and you had to go back and recreate, it was very hard.
Yeah.
So just to.
That's a great idea.
maybe-
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that would, I think, be helpful. So, and I also want to thank the whole committee on coming up with this process. Again, a long process. We were hoping to be out with this a little bit earlier, but in a way, I feel like we've all been impacted differently, and there's new challenges coming all the time. But Kristen and Patty in particular, who are going to be fielding a lot
I
of
know,
questions and inquiries. So, we know that that's going to be a challenge, and they've got their day jobs to do as well. So we really thank them for that extra
We
work.
didn't actually receive that second tranche of funds until 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
That's right,
So
and
that was
that was a big reason.
the-
Right.
one of the bigger reasons for the slight delay.
And that's very true, and Mr. Ledwith brings up a very good point, because there were circulating documents going to the U.S. Conference for Mayors especially, and other national publications that we're talking about. There was a motion actually to not give out the second tranche of money, and we didn't want to, or have already committed to this and then have to back down for any reason, so. All right. Okay, so this is exciting, because this has been in the process for a long time. We can do a voice vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Wonderful. All right, while Mr. Sweeney is introducing the next item, I am going to try to call my colleague, Mary Fay, who has asked to participate in this.
Madam Mayor, I move adoption of the resolution appointing Richard C. Ledwith as the town manager.
Second.
Hi, Mary. We are getting ready for this agenda item, appointing Richard C. Ledwith as town manager. So the motion's been made and seconded. Now you are part of and the town clerk has you in on this item. We are going to discuss the item on the table. So if I will take a little point of privilege to just say that we are very lucky to have incredible professional staff for the town, working for the town of West Hartford. And the town manager, it is interesting how the town manager, a lot of people don't understand what a town manager does, and a lot of people think the mayor is the chief executive, and then even last night when I was at the Chamber Awards with Mr. Cortez, Councilor Cortez, people were saying you're a volunteer, you don't have the fire chief doesn't report to you. And I said, no, not directly, but there is a town manager that reports to the council, and the town manager, a lot falls on their plate, and we require a lot, and the town of West Hartford expects a lot from its government. They make a big investment to live here, all of our residents, whether it be rentals or ownership. It's a big commitment for a family, and their expectations are high. And we've had an incredible history of wonderful town managers that have cared profoundly for the town, and and really been incredible stewards while they've been managing the town, and that is taking care of the management of the town, which means managing all of the staff of the town, and that means, you know, hiring a fire chief, hiring police chief, all of our front yard services, all of what we do. And then it's responding to the public, being present for the public and responding and problem solving and making sure that that interaction is professional and prompt and respectful, and you know, making sure that we are a responsive community, because we value customer service very, very much. And so much of that, some falls to me, but a lot, in many ways, I have an easy job, because I say I'm copying the town manager and he will get back to you, or they will get back to you. And so there's a lot, and it's constant. And obviously we've got, and then it is also making sure that there's regional cooperation, that you're a leader in the region and then in the state, because not only is West Hartford one of the larger communities, but we're a community that people look up to for guidance. And so we want to make sure that we are setting a good example and raising the bar for our whole state. And Rick has demonstrated over his many years of being on the town how much he cares for the town, how professional he is, how thoughtful he is, the confidence that our employees have in him as a leader. And then during his short term as acting, and Mr. Zdanowicz did get out the acting town manager. That was good. We have seen that how much he understands the tremendous responsibility of this position, and so Rick has been with the town for 25 years. He's lived in West Hartford for 25 years. He's been with the town for 21 years. He was executive director of human resources for 15 years. And so he has touched every department and every director, has worked closely with them, both on the school side and on the town side. And this is a decision that we weigh very, very seriously. But we also take it in the context of where we are in the history of our town. And we've just been through a pandemic. We are a community that is in a good position to recover completely and hopefully improve beyond. We have a record number of applications coming our way. We have a lot on our plate. And I have complete confidence that Rick is somebody that I know, I've seen, but I have confidence for the future tomorrow that Rick has the confidence to keep us moving and handle this tremendous amount of activity that we have without losing a step. And also, we also know that we have a big vacancy in our town leadership, in our superintendent of schools, and having that institutional knowledge and that leadership and connection on continuity with the directors and the whole town staff is very important for our community right now. So it is with really a great pride and gratitude that I will be supporting Rick for town manager. And so, Mr. Sweeney.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and I would echo all the things that you said about Rick. I would just give one example of how amazing he has been in this role, and I think it was maybe the week after we appointed him, and there was an incident at the Yukon property, and I had called him and said that there was, there were some, bad graffiti on there that was really offensive to the community, and Rick was trying to get in touch with someone at Public Works but couldn't do it, and he just said, "Never mind, I've got it." And on his Sunday, I forget what time it was. It was an odd time to go over there, and Rick went over there and put tape all over it because he didn't have anything to cover it up with. But that was, to me, was an eye opener of kind of what we were getting with Rick. And since that time, it's been the same on every issue that we've dealt with. His relationship with the community is something that we all appreciate. He loves this town, and we know that. We can see it and feel it. His relationships with people go outside of this building. They go through his family, through his investment in the community, like we all have had coming up, and it just feels right. It feels authentic, and I think that when we feel great when we are able to direct other residents with issues to him, that he's going to deal with them with the care that he treats us, and that's the other thing about Rick. He has a kindness about him, and that can be felt in every conversation you have with him. And so, it is with that I enthusiastically support Rick's nomination as being the permanent town manager, and I believe that our community will benefit from him, and I thank him for signing up for this, because this ain't an easy job. But we appreciate you, Rick, and we're really excited for you to take us to the next level. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sweeney. I forgot a very big part of the job is dealing with the council. Probably the biggest, the hardest part of all. Anyway, Ms. Fay, would you like to make a comment?
Yes, I could. Thank you so much.
Wait one sec. Let me turn the mic. Okay. There we go.
Modern technology, right? Rick, you and I have talked so many times about this role and your fit for it and your willingness to take this on an interim basis or an acting basis. I really wish I was there in person to, give my 2 cents worth and a strong approval for this. I've worked with you for 6 years now and got to know you very well in your role as Executive Director of Human Resources, and what a great role to have prior to becoming our town manager. And I just have to say, you took us through the budget process this time, which was very complicated. We had a lot of moving pieces, and we had the revaluation, and you did a stellar job. You answered very detailed questions that I had for you, as well as our caucus and others around the table. And I think you did a remarkable job, especially for your first time going through it with by yourself, solo. So I was very impressed with that, and I have gotten to know you very, very well. We've had some incredibly great conversations. You're always willing to jump right in, and I think your knowledge of the staff and their capabilities and being able to challenge people and, get them ready for other positions, just like you were ready to be able to assume this one. I just think it's a win for the town. I'm very proud and pleased to be able to work with you on an ongoing basis, and even closer than we have in the past. And I couldn't be more enthusiastic and thrilled with this appointment. And you've got my support undoubtedly. And anytime you need something, just ask. I'm thrilled that you're taking on this role, and I know you're going to be extremely successful because you already have that. So thank you for stepping up.
Thank you, Ms. Fay. Appreciate it. Ms. Bikes?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. First off, Rick, I just want to thank you for embracing the role as the acting town manager. I'm very thankful for you, and we're in our committee for public safety. I know often I just refer to you as the manager, as the town manager, and leave off the acting. But thank you for providing the leadership and managing the town resources and staff with grace. I really appreciate that, especially during this time as we continue to navigate through the pandemic, because many of our staff are still experiencing so many things, whether they've had COVID, family members having long-term effects of COVID, and just the impact that it is having on their families and their livelihood. That is still very real, although we're not in 2020. I know I've experienced it at work and with my staff, and so I just thank you for being mindful of that, and also being responsive to many questions that have come your way that I have asked you, and I know others as well. You've been very timely in terms of responding to those questions, and as was stated, the institutional knowledge is key, especially at this time when we have so many baby boomers that are exiting the workforce, not just in state service, but all over. And the fact that you are a townie, if you will, you have so much knowledge of what's going on, whether it's just here at the town level in your past duties as Executive Director of Human Resources, but also with your children, because your children do keep you in the know. I can attest to that, and I know many of us here can. But I will continue to bug you and ask you my many questions and sort of be that representative for my community. But I'm really thrilled that you're here and you're in this role and you've sort of done that transition. And so, of course, I'm thrilled to be able to be sitting with this body and be able to support you in this permanent position. So thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Ms. Planks. Mr. Cortez.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. First of all, I want to say thank you for your 21 years of service to West Hartford. Your dedication and commitment to our town. What I've experienced during your tenure as acting town manager is you're accessible, responsive, and also transparent. There's times that I've stopped by unannounced, and you make time to, hear me out, and, we have discussions, and I appreciate that. And as some people are not, and for you to want to continue in this role, being aware of all the responsibilities that come with a town manager, it's 24/7, as we stated earlier, between the emails and communication. So what people think we're Monday through Friday operation, but there's stuff that happens in the week during the weekends. There's emergencies, things of that nature, and we get an email from you, and you keep us up to date, so to make sure things are not being pushed to the side. This is a very active community, and you got a sneak peek, and you're willing to stick it out. So to find someone with a passion and to want to lead this town, I appreciate it, and you have my support. You're not perfect, though, due to your loyalty of a certain baseball team, which I would not announce, but you're great, and I look forward to working with you, continue working with you.
Thank you, Mr. Cortez. Mr. Zananis?
Sure, thank you. Rick, I've had the pleasure of working with you, although I'm new to town council this year. I've had the pleasure of working with you for like the last 9.5 years. And when I knew there was an absence in or the position was opening for town manager, you were the first person that just came to mind, and not even thinking of my role on town council as that we would have a vote like this, but just as for a person that lives in this town, knowing you as long as I have, I knew you'd be a perfect fit. And when the mayor called and said, what do you think? We're thinking of Rick and I said, absolutely not. We can't have that happen. No, I couldn't. I told her I couldn't have been happier. I go, absolutely the best pick there can be. The continuity that you bring to this job and the seamless way that you made it happen. There was no transition. There's a huge learning curve for most people, and I'm sure you probably have a little bit of it, but you don't show it. And when this was all going about, I was up in New Hampshire, and my uncle was running actually for office up there. There's a three-person council in a very small town. And we were talking, I said, we're getting a new town manager. We're a town manager. And we were just talking back and forth. And he goes, what party does he belong to? And I said, I've known him 9.5 years. I have no idea. And that's a really good trait. You look at, not through ideology, but problems as fixing them and making this town a better place, whether it's director of HR or now your role as the town manager. I think that's a great, and I never asked you, and it doesn't really matter to me. It does. No, please, I can't ask that question. No, it just doesn't really matter to me. I could care less. But it was just a thing that he asked me, and it was out of the blue, and I was like, wow, I don't know. And that's a great, I've known you so long. That's a really good trait. So I'm just excited. I couldn't be happier for this town. I know it's in good hands. And we're a better town for having you there. So I just want to say thank you. And if you ever need anything from me personally or anything like that, I'll always be there for you because I know that you're there for the town. And I always want to return those favors. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zadanowitz. Mr. David.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. My colleagues have basically said almost everything there needs to be said. The only thing I will add is that when the mayor said that we were thinking of appointing you as the acting town manager, and from there I did speak to quite a few of the people that directly report to you, and I'll share with you that each one of them was more excited than the next. And I think that's a tribute to your role as Executive Director of Human Resources, the ability to foster and to build strong relationships with everybody in our organization. And in the short time that you've served as acting town manager, you've demonstrated that you continue to do that, and you do it well, and you've done it quite well with every member of the town council. It's a challenge to be town manager, and it's a learning every day, different problem, different set of facts, and sometimes we get it right, sometimes we don't, but no one's ever going to fault you for the fact that in the brief time that you've been acting town manager, you've done everything with 100% commitment. You've done it with dignity, you've done it with honesty, you've done it with transparency, you've done it with commitment, and you've done it with the best interest of our community at heart. And I think that's important. So I will definitely be voting in favor of this resolution, and it's a really great night for you and for the Ledwith family. So congratulations, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Davidoff. And I just want to add a couple of things. Number one, I want to thank Tara because it's going to be a lot of patience on her part. And your three, I know they're sort of, they're grown-ish, right? Your kids. And so it's a lot. It's a lot for the whole family. So I want to really thank you. We couldn't do that without the support of your family. So we appreciate them. Thank you very much. All right, I think we can go to a voice vote, and is Ms. Fay? Yeah. Does she know your phone number?
Maybe you should.
Maybe she. She texted and said she said yes, but I don't, does that count? No. Let me just try one time here.
She's not picking up, so.
Yeah, let me just try. Yeah, we do have a quorum, but let me just try one. What? Hello? Hello? One more time. It's a test of patience always. Hi, Mary. We're just doing the all those in favor of the appointment. So, okay? All right. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Mary. Bye. Okay, great. Bye. Yeah. Can't wait to see. All right. Reports from the town manager.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and let me first start by saying.
Oh, yeah, actually, that, I should have given you the mic
Oh,
and
no,
the
that's
floor. No,
perfectly
no,
fine.
so we're not going to go to reports. This is actually your, you have
I'm
the,
very honored and humbled by your comments and certainly your trust in me to serve as our town manager. And I've known the 9 of you for quite some time now in my previous role, and I've known 2 of you for a very long time, having served on the council for many years now. And as I transitioned into this role and working the way we do one-on-one, and essentially it's 7 days a week, I'm having contact with one of you. All good. But you talk about my love of the community and the love that 9 of you have for what you do and the service you bring to our community is inspiring, and it's energizing, and it helps me. It keeps me moving. It keeps me, wanting to do better. And our directors, I've worked with all of them. I've had a hand in hiring every single one of them. So it's our team. And I've worked side by side with them, and then again, transitioning into this role and working in this capacity with them has been remarkable to see that commitment and that dedication at this level, that, in talking with them, bringing, problems that come to me, I bring to them, and we solve problems. And it's 7 days a week, whatever it takes. They are serving our community. And then working with our employees in the same capacity. Now I'm in this role and working with them and seeing, again, that dedication and that commitment by all 450 of our employees. It's in our culture here. It starts with you, comes through us, our directors, our leadership, and it goes right down to every single one of our employees. And we are in excellent hands with all of us, doing what we have to do day in and day out to make West Hartford the premier community that it is today, and always striving to make it better. And that's what I'm energized by, that's what I'm inspired by, and that's what our team's inspired by. So in many respects, I couldn't be happier and couldn't be more pleased. And again, I'm honored and humbled, and I really appreciate all of your comments as well. So thank you. And of course, our residents, very engaging residents, they want what we want, right? They want this town to be better. And in my previous role, I didn't get that opportunity to work as much with them as I am now. But I really, really enjoy it. And today I was dealing with beehives, and everything in between. So I've learned a lot, but I love that learning process, and I love helping our team solve problems for our community. So thank you very much.
thank you. No 2 days are alike, that's for sure. All right, thank you again, very, very much. All right, now to your town manager's report.
Okay, back to the normal business. So upcoming business and meetings, so we have the Elmwood Community Center and Library Advisory Committee. We will be holding our kickoff meeting this Thursday at 5 o'clock at the current Elmwood Community Center. We'll be meeting with our architects, Tecton Architects, and this will be our first of many meetings through the summer and fall as we work together with this committee and with our community to decide what the next Elmwood Community Center and library will look like. So we're excited about this first meeting. We'll keep the council apprised of progress through the summer and fall, and we'll set up some standing committee meetings as well where we'll provide updates. Our goal is to be before the council in November with final recommendations. We have our CIP process that starts right around the holiday, so we would love the council's decision before then so we can decide to set aside bonding funds for construction that would essentially potentially begin next July. So excited about that. Our next council meeting and only council meeting in July will take place on Thursday, July 14th, so not Tuesday, Thursday, July 14th, and that will start at 6:30 p.m., not 7:30 p.m. I wanted to talk briefly about the change in hours of operation for our building office. Due to the volume of permits as of today, Tuesday, June 28th, the Building Inspection Division will be closing at 1 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays to allow staff time to catch up on permit entry. There's a little bit of a backlog right now, a high volume of permits being submitted. Staff will be in the office submitting the permits and will still be available to take phone calls all day long. The Building Inspection Division service window, as you may remember, we set that up due to the pandemic. We will be closing that window beginning on Tuesday, July 5th, and we'll assess that in the future if need be due to COVID. All transactions will take place in the Town Hall at room 208, which is the Building Division office. Online permitting is coming very soon. We're pleased to announce that we will be upgrading to an online permitting platform in the very near future. Our new City View portal will be accessible from the Town of West Hartford's website. Folks will be able to apply for permits, submit all required documentation, make payments, and check the status of all permit applications with the new City View portal. We will likely be giving a demonstration to the Community Planning and Economic Development Committee at our upcoming meeting once we have that scheduled. Tax bills were mailed. Just as Benjamin Franklin wrote, there's nothing more certain in life than death and taxes. To that end, on Tuesday, June 21st, the Revenue Collection Office mailed real estate, business personal property, and motor vehicle tax bills to property owners. Included with the bill was an explanation explaining the two different mill rates and how taxes were calculated due to the revaluation phase-in. Payment must be postmarked or hand-delivered by Monday, August 1st, 2022, to avoid penalty fees. Folks can pay online, by mail, by secure Dropbox, or in person. Tax relief programs are available to veterans and income-eligible residents over the age of 65. Please contact the assessment office to learn more. July 4th holiday closures and trash delay. Municipal facilities, including town hall, libraries, schools, community centers, senior centers, and camp programs are closed on Monday, July 4th in observance of the Independence Day holiday. There will be a one-day delay in the collection of trash, B-week recycling, yard waste, metal, and bulky collections during the week of July 4th through 9th. Monday's collections will be picked up on Tuesday, Tuesdays on Wednesdays, and each remaining day of the week being one day later than normal. Wanted to remind folks of the danger of fireworks with the 4th of July holiday right around the corner. So a good time to remind everyone that in the state of Connecticut, all fireworks are illegal. Novelty items that emit flame or become airborne are not only illegal, but are very dangerous and can cause serious injuries. Please leave fireworks displays to licensed professionals using regulated products while following fire safety regulations. Did want to welcome a couple new employees to our staff. We have 2 new hires in our Human Resources Department due to some recent retirements. We welcome Claudia Tata as our new Human Resources Specialist. Claudia comes to us from the town of Wethersfield, where she served in a similar role. And we also added Catherine Zager, who has joined us as a senior personnel analyst who will work in the pension and benefits division. She previously worked in the HR department for West Hartford Public Schools. Both are great additions to our staff. West Hartford Bloomfield Health District will be holding summer COVID vaccine and booster clinics, so just please visit their website for dates and times of those clinics. For the first time in Connecticut, 20 incoming 10th, 11th, and 12th grade students from West Hartford Public High Schools participated in a 2-week teen community emergency response team training program, which also will be used to meet their mastery experience requirement for graduation. The training was presented in partnership with West Hartford Public Schools, the Office of Emergency Management, and the West Hartford Community Emergency Response Team, with assistance from the fire and police departments, social services, and animal control. West Hartford Public Library is hosting a summer reading challenge for adults that runs through August 31st. Participants who read books from the summer reading categories earn a chance to win biweekly as well as grand prizes. Participants can also earn additional chances to win by completing activities such as attending a library program or trying a recipe from a library cookbook. Visit the library's website at westhartfordlibrary.org for more information. West Hartford Leisure Services and West Hartford Yoga are hosting Yoga in the Parks again this summer, led by professional yoga instructors. The free classes will be held at Eisenhower Park at 5:30 p.m. on Wednesdays and Beachland Park at 9 a.m. on Sundays. Family yoga is held on Thursdays at Wolcott Park at 10 a.m. And they can visit our website to sign up for that. And I'll hit one more important one. Exits 40 and 41 will close intermittently for road work. The Connecticut DOT announced that the Interstate 84 eastbound exit 40 off-ramp to New Britain Avenue, Route 71, and the exit 41 I-84 eastbound on-ramp from South Main Street in West Hartford will be closed intermittently at night between the hours of 8 p.m. and 5 a.m. over the next 6 months, starting on July 5th. So they are installing drainage, milling of existing pavement, and the placement of new pavement with lane markings. So that summarizes the town manager's report. This will be online as well, so folks can download this information at their leisure. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ledwith. Any questions for Mr. Ledwith? Okay, seeing none, we now have Corporation Counsel. We have Deputy Corp Counsel Gina Verano here with us.
Madam Mayor, the Office of Corporation Counsel has no official report tonight.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Corporation Counsel? All right. Thank you very much for being here, and
Madam Mayor, without objection, I move adjournment.
well, I didn't do my announcements yet.
Oh,
Just a
sorry.
minute. No, not a lot. Well, maybe a little bit. Adult tutors needed. West Hartford Social Services looking for adult tutors to work with adults who are learning the English language. Tutors can work one-on-one or in small group. We need dedicated and patient volunteers who have a command of the English language. You do not need to speak a second language. If you're interested, contact our Candace Jakowski, volunteer coordinator. WeHa Comedy Nights will take place with 2020 Media Partner for an outdoor showcase June 30th at the, I'm not sure where it is, 8 until 9 o'clock. I'm assuming it says 5 comedians live on stage. Oh, in the square, sorry, right in Blueback Square. Whimsical Wednesdays at Elmwood Community Center is free children's entertainment every July from 6 to 7. And bring a blanket, picnic dinner, and listen to music from Judy Pancoast on July 6th and 20th, and Sunny Train on July 13th and 27th. No registration needed. In the event of inclement weather, the concerts will be held in the auditorium. Greater Hartford Jazz Festival is New England's largest free public jazz festival. Will kick off on Thursday, July 14th at 6:30. Unfortunately, that's a council night with 1 hour performance by Hall High School Jazz Band with special guest trombonist Chris Crenshaw. The 3-day festival is held at Bushnell Park. Then we have the Shakespeare Festival. Capitol Classics Company represents its Greater Hartford Festival, Much Ado About Nothing, on the grounds of University of St. Joseph's, 1678 Asylum Avenue. The play runs on July 14th through July 31st. Comedy Night at Mandel GCC will be also on July 14th at 7:30 p.m. for laughs, drinks, and delicious refreshments. West Hartford Summer Arts Festival, July 23rd to 30th, will take place at Conard High School. And Something Rotten is the name of the outrageously crowd-pleasing musical farce. It is at July 23rd, 28th, 29th, and 30th at 7 p.m. And July 24th, there's a matinee at 3 p.m. Tickets are on sale at West Hartford SAF. Playhouse on Park presents Pippin, July 6th through August 21st. Visit the Playhouse on Park for tickets. The Carillion Concert Series, First Church, will hold that on every Thursday in July at 6 p.m. And Elizabeth Park concerts are also taking place on every Thursday starting every Thursday in July starting at 6:30. And Blueback Square concerts also are happening. Please go to their website to see the schedule for that. Are there any other announcements? Okay, Mr. Cortez.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. West Hartford United Methodist Church is wrapping up their food drive on this Thursday, the 30th. There's a bin outside the church where people can, it's very convenient to drop off non-perishable food items to support the food pantry. After that date, just remember you can always drop off food at the food pantry here during town business hours.
Thank you, Mr. Cortez. And I just do want to mention that, again, we were at the Chamber Awards last night, and it is just a reminder of the incredible committed businesses and nonprofits that we have in our community, and hopefully many of them, we will partner with the Chamber to get the word out on the grant, on the assistance, but it really was a beautiful night, and thank you, Mr. Cortez, for joining. Seeing no other, okay, Mr. Sweeney.
Madam Mayor, without objection, I move adjournment.
Well, I don't know if we need a second. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you very much.